Welcome. My name is Liz Rowlinson, a property journalist, and I'm here property hunting with MASA International, specifically Paul Payne. Hi, Paul.
Hello, Liz. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm in the UK, and I think you're in the UK after a very busy August in Spain. Is that right?
No, it's not actually. No, this is actually Spain. I delayed my flight. I misinformed you because we've been so busy. I've actually stayed on a bit longer. So I'm still here in Spain, hence the sunshine perhaps in the background.
Oh, we've had a heat wave in the UK. But anyway, so tell me about MASA and what you do and where in Spain do you sell? What's been going on?
Okay, so I work for a company called MASA International, and we're a real estate company based on Costa Blanca. Well, our head office is on the Costa Blanca in southeast Spain. And this year, we're 40 years old this year, so we've been helping people from the UK and all the cold bits of Europe to find their second homes or permanent homes here on the Costa Blanca. So we assist with helping people find new properties, resale properties, and also pulling together the whole process to make it a smooth and hassle-free experience.
And we were chatting not long ago, and you were saying that there is a big appetite for brand new properties that you can just walk in the door and move into. I can imagine why, but tell me what are people after at the moment?
Yeah, so I mean, for a few years now, people have been really interested in the new sort of modern style of property that we're finding on the Costa Blanca. And during the lockdown, the builders carried on building. So they finished off their projects, had a nice stock of properties that were key ready and ready to move into. I must say though, that since the travel restrictions have lifted, we are, and I think every other agent in the area are busier than ever. I mean, it's been many years since I've seen the market this busy. So that stock of key ready properties is diminishing by the day. So it won't be long before we'll have to wait a bit longer for new properties. But at the moment, yes, there's some really good new homes that you can move into straight away. Why are people looking at that sort of property? As time goes on, qualities get better, materials get better. Properties are designed for the tastes of today. New properties tend to be very good for locking up and leaving, low maintenance. And these are some of the things that a lot of our buyers put importance on.
And also, I imagine very popular with rental people if they want to let out their property for a bit of income.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a bit of I think they call it curb appeal, don't they? It looks great in the pictures as well. Nice, clean, modern, fresh properties. So yeah, if you are looking to buy a property and get some rental income, those properties tend to perform a bit better than the older style, darker properties that famous, that Spain was famous for many years ago. So certainly, the curb appeal, should we say, of the modern property is a big factor.
Brilliant. And you've had people flying out during the periods when it's been permitted to during the pandemic. What's the situation now? I mean, we can fly to Spain and view properties. Just remind people what's the situation if they come to Spain?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, Spain is fully open now for visitors from the UK. And has been incredibly busy. I mean, we've been absolutely stacked out with people on viewing trips, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that shortly. But the process of coming to Spain now, if you're double vaccinated, you don't need to take any test before you arrive in Spain. You simply complete a health declaration form and show your vaccination certificate, your digital vaccination certificate, and that's fine to come into Spain. On the way back, you take a lateral flow test at a local pharmacy a couple of days before you return, and arrange for a test on the day 2 of when you get back. But bear in mind, this is always subject to change. This could change at any minute. There's a lot of talk about they're going to remove all of that altogether, the need for tests when on return for those that are double vaccinated. If you are not double vaccinated or are taking children with you that are over 12 who have not been vaccinated, you can still come to Spain. You just have to have a clear test taken before you arrive into Spain. So yeah, it's pretty okay. It's something we're still all getting used to, but it's very well organised. You know, at the airports when we're on my way out, and feedback from all our customers that have been coming over. Things are pretty smooth at the airports. They're getting people onto the planes well. People are behaving and being very respectful. And on arrival, once you arrive into Alicante Airport or Murcia, depends where you're coming into in this region, it's very, very efficient. You know, you're off the plane, check your passport, your digital certificates, and you're out the airport. So really been impressed with how organised things have been. Okay.
And the viewing trips that you offer as a company, I mean, people can come out and sort of do their own holiday, book some viewings with you, but alternatively, you can do a lot of organising, help them set up a trip. How does that work? What do you recommend? How many nights do they spend? What do they see?
Yeah, so there's a few ways that you can do this. Yeah, as you mentioned, one way is just get on a plane and come out here, and you can make appointments with ourselves and other agents, and we can show you properties. But I can't stress enough how much we recommend the viewing trip option, because we can spend a longer time with the client, with the person who wants to buy. We can show them much more detail about the area rather than just a series of properties. And in terms of time required, our trips are usually 4 nights. If someone's in a rush, we can make it shorter. And likewise, if you've got a bit of extra time and you want to tag a few days onto the end, we can arrange that too. So most of our guests are coming from between 4 and 7 nights. We tailor make each trip for each client. It's not a big bus of people all going around looking together. It's all one-to-one attention. You'll be assigned a MASA property advisor who will be an expert on the area and live in the area. And that person, he or she, will be your guide to the local areas, of course, to arrange viewings on the best properties that meet the requirements of the buyer.
Okay. Great. And you can you provide info on sort of how to get a lawyer, how to get a mortgage if necessary, things like that. Can you talk a bit about I mean, we're going to watch some virtual viewing tours, which is a great sort of starting point in people's sort of research. But what else can they do before they fly out to get their property search if they're really serious about coming out buying?
Yeah, there are some really good things you can do to prepare ahead of time, and I certainly always try and prepare the clients that I'm working with in this way. And one is, well, in fact, if you like, you're building a team, aren't you, that's going to all pull together to help you achieve the result that you want. One of those things is getting in contact with a good lawyer, and we can put you in, depending on where you're buying, exactly what you're buying, we can put you in contact with lawyers that are independent of the sellers, someone that speaks your own language and who has detailed knowledge of the area that you're buying in, much the same way as you would choose a lawyer in the UK. So that's one thing that's important. You don't need the lawyer so much until you've actually found the property, but I think it makes sense to have a conversation with someone and at least prepare yourself ahead of coming to Spain. Yeah. What else would I prepare? Currency is a big one. When you buy a property in Spain, achieving the best exchange rate, because you're buying in euros in Spain, so at some point you're going to need to transfer your money from the UK across to Spain, and achieving the best exchange rate is one of the most important things that you can do when you're buying a property. I know we work a lot with Place in the Sun currency, so they help nearly all of our clients to achieve really good exchange rates, because when you're buying 500-600 euros for a weekend away, whether the exchange rate is a point here or there makes little difference. But when we're talking hundreds of thousands, you can be saving 3, 4, 5, 6,000 or more pounds on your property purchase. So it's a important saving to make. So I always like to get people that information, get them in touch with Place in the Sun currency, get that kind of ticked off the list before you get over to Spain. The reason we do that before you come over, or before the buyer comes over, is it's just you've taken care of a few of the admin things, and that means when you get here, you can just sit back and enjoy and take it all in, view the properties, and knowing that in your back pocket you've already got the right contacts as well, so that when you do find something, you can move swiftly and efficiently, and with the least amount of hassle and stress. So those are the things that we organise. One thing I didn't mention when we were talking about the viewing trips, exactly what do we do in terms of the actual logistics of it. So as part of the viewing trip package that we organise, we organise the return flights. We can operate out of most UK airports and Ireland as well. And we'll arrange the flights into Alicante usually, or sometimes Murcia. We will arrange pick up at the airport. You'll be met by your property advisor at the airport, and he or she will get you back to the hotel that we've organised as well. So we sort out the hotel, transport, the flights, even meals in Spain, breakfast and evening meal, and tapas here and there. We'll make sure that you get a taste of everything wherever you go. So we organise all of that, and then that package. It's usually around £149. If you want to extend the trip a bit more, then it's just whatever that costs for the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
sounds good.
That's how it works. Yeah. Well, it's worked very well for many years, and it's just spending that quality time and getting to know someone, because we really want to show people the life here and the area here. The property is the means to accessing the life that people are looking for.
Yeah, I can see that, and I've talked to some happy people that have bought on your trips before. So, but let's have a look at a property, because this is making me intrigued about these new homes you've got. So, I think the first property we're going to look at is in Playa Flamenca. Is that right?
Playa Flamenca, that's right.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell us about where that is, what we're going to look at.
So Playa Flamenca is in the heart of a region called the Orihuela Costa, which is featured on the Place in the Sun programme often. And that's because it kind of ticks almost every box for most buyers. You've got great beaches, you've got a wide variety of restaurants and shops. There's the huge La Xenia Boulevard commercial centre there. And you're around 40 minutes from Alicante Airport, and about the same from Murcia as well. So 4 golf courses there, cities of Torrevieja, Murcia, Alicante nearby. Mm-hmm. So it ticks a lot of boxes, and that's why it's often requested. Playa Flamenca is one of the towns on the Orihuela Costa that we often find houses for buyers.
Yeah, okay.
The apartment I want to show you. So yes, I've picked 3 properties today, and of course that's really hard. We have like 3,000 properties across the Costa Blanca. So to pick 3, I hope you get a bit of an understanding of the range of possibilities you have. But the first property we're going to have a look at is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom penthouse apartment in a development called El Bosque, which is just a very short distance from the sea. In fact, has great sea views as well. So, why don't we have a look now?
Yeah, let's go. Let's have a look.
Okay, so this is the El Bosque development, which is a fairly new development. It's about 10 years old. This property that we are having a look at now is sold fully equipped. I see modern kitchen, modern interiors. Hasn't been used very much at all. So it feels almost like a new apartment, really.
Great. And I think that was 145,000 euros. Is that right, Paul?
That is €145,000, which is about 126, just over £126,000 on the apartment. You see is a good family size bathroom, second guest room with twin beds. It's light, it's bright, it's east facing, straight out to sea. So you're going to get wonderful sunshine, particularly in the morning and early afternoon. And then out onto the terrace. You can't quite see the sea from that picture, but it's there. But when we go up onto this rooftop solarium, you can see this kind of little rooftop garden here with a nice seating area, great place to have a barbecue. And from there, you're just facing straight out to sea as well. So you can walk down to,
nice. Yeah.
You can walk down to the beach in about 15 minutes from there. So that's El Bosque. I wanted to show you an example of a property, a very economical property, but also in a really good location and in, as you've seen, really great order.
Yes, because something we just, when we were talking about getting your ducks in a row ready for buying, getting your finance in place is, I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I can't remember the last time I spoke to an interviewed buyer who actually got a mortgage, because most people I deal with going on the TV show at the moment, etc., they're cash buyers. So, but I mean, if you do need to get a mortgage, you can, and they should think about getting a sort of some kind of estimate of how much they can borrow before they even come to Spain, shouldn't they, really?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. If you require financing, just because, I mean, as you know, when you're dealing with banks, there are all kinds of information and paperwork they want to process an application for a mortgage. It can take a bit of time. So the more of that work you can do before you get over, the better. So if you are remortgaging in the UK to raise money, which is often people will do that, or to raise part of it, you can get usually what's called an agreement in principle, so that you haven't committed to borrowing money before you found the property, but at least you know that A, you can get it, and B, how much is it going to cost you. So that's if you're raising finance in the UK. It's possible to get a mortgage through a Spanish bank as well. Spanish banks at the moment are lending between 50 and 60% of the value of the property. And again, if that's something that's going to be required, we have a department that deals with that as well, and we work with the banks over here. So we can again get you an agreement in principle. There'll be a few documents and questions that the bank will ask, so we can get you some illustrations so you get an idea of what things are going to cost. Yeah, certainly, get ahead of yourself a little bit and get that information before you travel to Spain.
Okay, so if that's €145,000, how much should they allow for the purchase taxes on top of that? Okay. Legal, anything on top?
Yeah, sure. So when you're buying a property in Spain, you have to allow for purchase tax, which, depending on where you are and what it is usually comes to around 10%. And then you've got legal fees from the lawyer. For the conveyancing, you have some costs for the notary here in Spain, land registry, setting up of water and electricity contracts, utilities. I suggest people budget 14 to 15% of the purchase price, which is a bit of a bitter pill to swallow, because as a percentage, that's higher than perhaps we're used to in the UK. But when you come to your running costs for a property, you're going to be quite pleased when you compare it to what we pay in the UK. So a property like we've just seen there, you're going to have to pay council tax, which is called Suma in Spain. That particular property is €225 per year.
Wow.
Which is I pay more than that per month in the UK. You will also have what's called a community fee. What we didn't see, unfortunately, in that video, which is a really big part of that property, is there's a wonderful communal pool area with really nice gardens. So each owner contributes a bit towards the upkeep of that. And that one works out to €50 per month. So you've got, your council tax, your community fee to pay, water and electric, internet, buildings and contents insurance. I tell people, if you budget about 100, 120 a month, that would cover everything, unless you use a crazy amount of water or electric, but normal kind of usage, you should budget that. And then I think we could apply that really for any sort of 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
That's fairly typical of what you should expect to pay in costs.
Yeah, community fees tend to be a lot of the places I've seen are about 50 euros a month, you know, or £50. You know, it's not too much.
No, the acceptable range, you know, on the Costa Blanca, in some other parts of Spain, you can find community fees are a lot higher.
Yeah.
But typically in this area, they range from, let's say, 40 to 60 per month, depending on the property.
Okay, well, let's have a look at another property. Slightly, I think we're going to north of the Mar Menor here. Tell us about this property. I think it's in Pilar de la Horadada.
That's right. Yes, it's a
Get
bit of a
my mouth
mouth
around that one.
We need to keep the teeth in for that one. But it's Pilar de la Horadada. In fact, this property is in the beach area of Pilar. That's called Torre de la Horadada. Torre means tower in Spanish, and there's a really old tower there on the marina. And Torre de la Horadada is a wonderful beach town. I mean, it's just exactly how most people imagine what they want from a beach town in Spain. You've got at its centre, beautiful plaza, lots of restaurants and bars around there. Feels very Spanish. You've got a lovely marina and miles and miles of walkway. If you want to go for a walk, it's nice and flat there, or cycle. And you've got 2 wonderful sandy beaches either side of the marina. Now, this property is located about 300 meters from the beach. So I wanted to get something where I could get you really, really close to the beach and in a really good family house. So if you've got a nice family or you're going to have friends coming over, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom townhouse on a gated development with a communal pool. So you've got the choice of either jumping in your communal pool or taking a really short stroll down to one of the best beaches in the area. So let's have a look at the townhouse. And
just before we kick off, is it 299,000 euros?
Yeah, apologies. So yeah, it's 299,000 euros, which is about just over 260,000 pounds on the exchange rate at the moment.
Sure, and I think it's got a lovely pool area, which I think we get to see in this video. So let's have a look.
Yeah, okay, let's have a look. Okay, so here's the townhouse, a 3-bedroom townhouse. And as you can see, modern design. It's a resale property, so it's quite rare to find a really modern property like this on the resale market. But you wouldn't know that this has ever been lived in. I mean, it's absolutely brand spanking new, impeccable order throughout. Nice modern kitchen, all the equipment's in there. There's everything you need included in this house. You literally walk in with your suitcase. 2 bathrooms. And this is the guest room, which at the moment has two single beds in there, but it's plenty big enough to put a double in there if you wanted to. As we whiz upstairs to the master bedroom, as you can see, nice big windows there. It's really loads of light in this property. That's another reason why the modern properties are really popular, because they allow for the big windows and loads of light. So, which is what we all crave when we're coming from the UK. Nice big bathroom there, and 3rd bedroom upstairs, which these guys have got bunk beds in there, so plenty of space for the family. Nice terrace outside. What's good is you've got front and back terraces, so whether you want to get into the sun or get away from it, you can find it up on the roof terrace as well on this property. Nice place to have dinner. But look at that pool. I mean, what a lovely pool area. So as we head back out, direct access out to the pool area too. And again, the community fee here is just under 60 euros per month.
Wow,
So
that's pretty good.
not a lot at all, really. Children's pool, jacuzzi, and a nice swimming pool there too. Even a bit of a games area and park for kids too. So it's all gated and secure. So once you've finished your holiday, you put the key in the door and turn it, and until the next time you visit.
Brilliant. And Paul, have you got an idea of how much that would rent out for, a property like that?
Oh, okay. So first of all, it's very rare that someone buys a property like that and rents it out. You know, it's really nice, and often people have the intention of renting, and as soon as they lay their hands on the keys, that all changes. They don't want anyone in the house. But something like that's going to rent in the summer easily around 900 a week, possibly a bit more.
Yeah.
During the winter, perhaps a little bit less, but I think you're going to be looking 900 to 1,000 a week over the summer. And it's important to get a tourist license. If you're going to rent your property out, you need to have a tourist license. So if that is something you're considering, that's something we want to know ahead of time, so that we show you the properties that are going to work well on the rental market, but also so that we can look at getting that tourist license for you, because it does take a little bit of time. It's an application that has to be made to the town hall. So we'll assist you with that, and also your lawyer would as well.
I just wondered, because there is a limit on the amount of time British people can spend in their holiday homes. It's 90 days in 180 now. I wondered if more people might decide to rent out their home when they're not using it. I mean, it can be a lot of hassle, I know, but have you got any sense of that?
So far, no, I don't think things have really changed. You get a few people that are looking to rent their properties out, and I would say for every 10 houses we sell, one person is considering renting their property out. I use that considering, and as I say, out of that, if you had all the ones that consider it, probably 1 out of 10 end up actually doing it. People tend to be buying for themselves, you know, for their own family. But it can be done, and we'll assist you with that as well. Help you with everything from getting listed on the right websites to finding a key holder in Spain. If you have a property in Spain, whether you're renting it out or not, you're going to need someone here that's going to hold keys and could be there to let guests in, or for deliveries or any maintenance that's required on the property. Key holding usually ranges from about 250, 300 euros a year. We'll assist with all of that as well. So once you've found the property, we'll get you all set up there too.
Brilliant. I know most of your customers are buying holiday homes, but are you still seeing people asking, you know, how can we move to Spain?
Oh, very, very much so. In fact, probably more people. You'd think it would just be more holiday homes now, but it's really not. No, a lot of people are looking to live here year round, and that's perfectly possible. It's just a few more hoops to jump through now. You know, if you're, but again, we sort all of that out for you anyway. So if you want to come and spend the whole year in Spain and you're from the UK, you can get what's called a non-lucrative visa, which means you can come and live in Spain. You can't work here. And you just have to demonstrate that you've got enough income to support your stay, and you've got medical insurance as well. There's a bit of paperwork involved there, but we'll assist you with
I think it's more than a bit, but I think it's about 9 to 10 documents to be exact. But it's great that you've got a whole there's all sort of legal experts who've grown up, a whole industry to help British people get these visas now. So
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's a number, but everything requires documents in Spain. So this is something you know we're used to anyway. So it's really not a lot of water off the duck's back. I mean, there's you have to have an appointment in the UK at the embassy, and you go there and you show your documents, your passport, your proof of the funds that you've got to support your stay, the medical insurance, clean police report,
medical certificate. Yeah.
So all of these things you show that, and then you have then 3 months to collect that visa in Spain. That is almost certainly going to get streamlined soon, because the embassies in London, in fact, at the moment, they've actually stopped taking appointments. They can't get an appointment at the moment because there's such a backlog. So many Brits are looking to take this visa up. There's embassies in Manchester and Scotland as well. They're fine. So important to keep an eye on that and just get in touch. We'll always keep you posted with what the latest regulations are. So yeah, watch this space, and we're hoping that process will be streamlined. The other side of it, which what we're seeing a lot more of as well, is there's a magical thing called the golden visa in Spain, and this is something that if you invest 500,000 euros or more into property, that can be in 1, 2, or multiple properties, as long as it totals 500 unfinanced in Spain, you can receive what's called a golden visa, which means that you can come and go as you please. You can live in Spain, you can work in Spain. Now there is a cost to processing that as well. Again, will help facilitate all of that application too. And that's been something that has it's quite surprised us how many Brits are going for that. So we've seen a big influx in buyers from the UK looking for that end of the market, sort of north of 500,000 euro property. People are stretching themselves a little bit. Perhaps they would have spent 300, 350, and there's a little bit more to get that golden visa. Now there are on all these visas there's conditions, so that's a whole webinar in itself. So
you need private health insurance for that one as well. Yes,
absolutely. You need private health insurance for that one. But yeah, get in touch with us, and we can go through the details of that as well, and help you get that underway if that's something that's going to be on your radar.
Well, the next property that takes us into nicely would definitely be okay if you want to get a golden visa. We're looking at a very lovely 3-bed villa in Sierra Cortina, and I believe it's 644,000 euros. Is that right?
It is, yes. This is on the Sierra Cortina organisation, which is one of the best addresses in the northern Costa Blanca. So it's actually situated close to Finisterre, Cala Finisterre, Benidorm, Altea, Polop, some really, really nice areas up there, and elevated above the sea. We'll have a look on the video anyway. But yeah, you're quite right. This is a villa that would be golden visa compliant, because it's 644,000 euros, which on my calculation at today's rate is about 560,500 pounds. So let's take a look at this villa, which is in the Beren Hills development in Sierra Cortina. So this is the Beren Hills villa, key ready, brand new villa. As you can see, this is a real wow house. Plot is around 450 square meters. The build size is 145 square meters, so a really good size. Big garden, very, very really good architect has designed these properties. And again, as you can see in the theme of these modern homes, it's all about getting that light in from the sky and into your house. Huge open plan living area, and gardens are finished off nice as well. Low maintenance, so you have artificial grass, so you can come and go without having to worry about cutting grass and watering it. Really nicely designed, lovely views, hills behind, and then across that skyline of Benidorm in the distance. So nice and close to all the theme parks, close to really nice Spanish towns, international resorts like Benidorm. So yeah, that's a pretty special property, I think, to conclude our three property tours.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous property. I mean, if that's a sort of, if people want a villa and they can't afford that sort of level, do you also sell? Have you got something? What might they get a villa for in that area that's not quite as slick and snazzy?
Yeah, I mean, in that area, you can get modern villas from around 300,000, or perhaps a little bit over that upwards. So there are possibilities there. And nearby, there's towns like Pollock, which is a really lovely Spanish town, which is just 5-10 minutes away. And we have some lovely villas, similar size, in fact, for a bit over 300,000. So if you come south of Alicante, so places like Casada, Orihuela Costa, Torrevieja, these areas, prices a little bit lower there. And we have modern detached villas with pools from about a bit over 200,000 upwards. So yeah, a wide range depending on whatever it is you're looking for and what kind of price ranges is comfortable for you.
Yeah, great. So what about what are the steps of so people can look on your website, they can see more of these video tours of properties, can't they, which give a great idea, and then they can pick up the phone and have a chat with you and talk about booking a trip. Is that how it works?
That's exactly how it works. Yeah, I mean, on our website, masainternational.com, we update that every day with properties, and we're always adding new property tours and videos and such on there. But skip past all of that and get yourself over here to Spain and come and see things in the first hand. We can show you the areas, show you all of these properties. Just give us a call and we'll have a little talk through what your requirements are. Make a list of all the things that are important to you, and we can make some suggestions on properties and areas to visit, and we can start planning your viewing trip. We have daily departures now, so we've increased capacity as well to meet the demand. So when you're ready, we're ready to help you find your home in Spain.
And I mean, because these video tours are wonderful at actually giving people an idea of properties, but they're not so good at sort of showing the whole area, are they? So I think they can help you hone down and make a sort of almost like a wish list, but there's no substitute for coming out and really exploring, is it?
No, that's the thing, is you're just looking at a picture of a property or a video of a property without the context that's required of where it is. Where are the shops? Where are the local supermarkets, the bars, the beach? And that's something that's quite hard to get across in a video or a property listing. But we can talk through that, and that's where having that conversation really comes in. You tell us what it is that's important to you, what you're looking for, and then we can send you the property listings and videos that we know are in locations that are going to work for you, because it's finding a property in Spain has to be location led rather than property led. Because, for example, if you're not going to drive or can't drive in Spain, that makes a difference on where you should consider buying. Likewise, if you need a school nearby, or if you want to play golf, whatever it is that you want to do with your time in Spain, we need to know that so that we can start recommending and planning the right areas to visit when you come over.
Yeah, I think often people think by going a bit sort of inland or a bit more remote, they get more for their money, but then realise that actually it's actually more practical to be close to things. So it's really key. I agree. What about, I mean, you've been talking about the market being very busy, builders running out of stock. Any chance of any deals?
Well, on the new properties, prices really are going up. I think it's a worldwide issue. Construction costs are going up, materials are a lot more expensive. This isn't something that's just in Spain or the UK. I think this is everywhere. So as the new properties are being built, as they're selling out of their existing ones, they're having to build new properties. Now those new properties are costing more to build, and those costs are obviously going to be impacted on the price of the property. So the honest answer is it's probably harder now than ever to get price reductions on properties in Spain. With resale properties, and of course we sell lots of resale homes as well, most vendors are anticipating an offer. So there's usually something to be had off of the price. So it's first thing is to get here, find a property, and we'll always work to get you the best deal possible from the seller as well.
Yes, it always depends on the specific property and how keen they are to sell, doesn't it? And watching our latest TV series, there've been quite a few cheeky offers, but you know, it depends on during the pandemic, some people might be, I think it's a mixture of people very keen to hold on to their properties because they're away from the city, whatever, or they actually are a bit fed up and they want to get rid of it. So
yeah, it's harder than ever to get properties listed. You know, people are not, there's not loads and loads coming on the market now, regardless of economic conditions or pandemics. You know, births, deaths, marriages, properties come onto the market all the time. You know, at the moment more than ever, vendors, people who have houses in Spain, are very much aware of the demand that's there, that is driving prices up. So, you know, your average vendor is not really looking to reduce their price. In fact, you know, we're getting calls of a lot of people to try and increase prices. So, yeah, I think it's important. You're making a point that's important when you come to Spain to be realistic. And most buyers are. Most buyers are really quite well educated now on how things work. If somebody comes and makes silly offers on houses, it doesn't take them to realise that perhaps now is not the time for getting those silly offers. But prices definitely on the increase, and as the demand comes, and there's more and more people coming all the time. You know, we're only really a couple of months into the restrictions lifting, so we've still got a huge backlog of more than a year's worth of buyers that are organising to come out. So and that's going to have an impact on prices for sure.
Great. Well, look, that's been really interesting. Thanks, Paul. There's lots of resources that you're going to find alongside this webinar on our website about guides of how to buy in Spain, how to find a lawyer, a place in the sun.com currency you mentioned. Your contact details are going to be there, aren't they, Paul, alongside this? So really it's get in touch and arrange to go out to Spain.
That's it. Yeah, our contact details are there. I'll be happy to talk to anyone who's considering a property in Spain, and we can have a chat, think about what you're trying to do, and I'll help you in the best way I can.
Thanks very much. Take care, Paul.
Thanks, Liz.
Bye-bye.